Okay, here we are with final phone calls now, and we'll go to Winnipeg, Canada. First of all, Lisa, it is your turn on the international line. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, George. What an honor to speak to you. I love you and your show.
Well, you're very kind.
And hello, Dolores.
Hello.
Hi, I'd like to ask a question that I've often wondered about, and to the previous callers, we may all be far apart, but obviously we're not alone. And what I'd like to ask is about people with negative blood types. There have been lots of speculations about where we came from and how did we get here, and this kind of blood doesn't seem to, no scientist seems to be able to answer how people on this planet have negative blood, and, how basically we got here and where we came from, and if that has anything to do with what you're speaking about.
I don't know. It's a possibility because, like I said, some of the genetics are different in these ones who have come because their energy had to be changed in order to come into a human body. It's always a possibility. Anything that's different could have come from some of the experimentation that was going on. But we have negative blood in my family, from my husband's side, so it's hard to say. But it's a good question. Maybe I'll ask about it sometime.
All right, thanks, Lisa. Next up, we've got Claudia in Petaluma, California. Hey, Claudia, go ahead.
Hi. Yeah,
Hi.
I missed a lot of the program, but I got the gist of it. With these bright children and these bright people, I was the youngest of 13, and I, too, felt extremely strange. Like, when my name was called, it's like I had to look around. Who or what is Claudia,
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, are a lot of these people, especially children, are they being deliberately diagnosed as mentally ill and put on these pills? And, in other words, has the education system been totally infiltrated, or what's going on here? And then I have a second question shortly.
Okay, let me answer one at a time.
Yes.
Okay, I don't think it's been infiltrated. I think that the teachers, the ones I've talked to, just don't understand these children. They're not being diagnosed as mentally ill. They're being diagnosed as attention deficit, overreactive. But, even in our own kids, when they were little, we had some kids that acted up. But they said they act up too much in class. And as I said earlier, it's because they're bored. They're not mentally ill, and they should not be put on any kind of drugs.
Well, my daughter was shown a psychological test that was done on my 4-year-old who's in kindergarten, and she just couldn't believe the questions asked. And she said, "Where does this come from?" And she says, "Well, it's part of our training." The little guy, Logan, he knows every piece that goes into any of his puzzles, any of his equipment, like Legos or whatever, if they pull apart. And you know how kids throw everything together in the room, like everything's mixed up?
Yeah.
And I remember I walked in and I pulled out this little metal piece and I said, What is this? And he says, "Oh, that's part of Wolverine. That goes over here." And he knew exactly where everything was, Anyway, but I was concerned that there's too much analysis going on and not enough teaching,
Yeah, they're trying to figure out these kids because they don't understand. I had a client who said he was a child, and he's sitting there bored looking at the walls, and the teacher finally got around him, and he said, "I just want to ask the question, how many miles is it from here to the sun?"
Oh, my.
Had nothing to do with the class, and so the teacher got angry. But they're trying to keep everybody in the same mold that we were all in all these years.
Well, it's like numb and dumb them down.
Well, we have to realize this is a whole new generation of children that have to be treated differently.
I agree. And then the last question, very short. I remember years ago, Stanley Kubrick's movie came out, Clockwork Orange. That came out in 2001. And the same week that came out, there was a film from Britain called Oh Lucky Man, and the theme was grafting animal bodies to human bodies. So the upper body would be the man, and the lower part was a pig.
Ugh.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that we're going back some 30 years, you know, and I thought, it was horrifying, and I thought, oh, my God, and it was done for profit-making.
Well, that's what they said. We're going down the wrong road. We're repeating the same mistakes again.
Well, thank you, my dear.
Okay, and thank you.
Okay, next up, it's Steve's turn. Hackensack, New Jersey. Stephen, thanks for holding.
Hi, George. Great show.
Hey.
Hi, how you doing? Well, I have a little statement and a quick question. I was born in 1957, and about 30 years ago, I had a dream. I was arguing with some other adults in a very white place. So everybody had white robes on.
Okay.
I wanted to come to Earth. And I got up. They wanted me to wait for somebody, but I got on some kind of a platform, and the next thing I know, the dream kind of ended. But it seems like it was right before my birth.
Uh-huh.
And that dream has never left me for 30 years. And when you talk about this, it's like my life.
Okay,
cool.
it is a true memory. It's a real memory. Because what you describe is what it's like on the spirit side.
Wow.
So it's real. That's when you'd already made your decisions and you were waiting to go and come into the body. Yeah,
you know, I love this planet, and I definitely try to help people all my life.
That's what it's all about. We got to help each other.
And I have a question. You were saying that there are abductions every once in a while. And about a month ago, I had, I was lying in bed, and suddenly I couldn't move, felt a lot of hands on me, and I just couldn't get up. It really upset me. I wasn't scared or anything, but I couldn't see anything. The lights were on, there was just nobody there. So I said the word Jesus, and I was going to say to help me, and suddenly it was like you blinked, but I didn't blink, and the whole atmosphere changed and everything stopped. Why do they go away when you mention Jesus' name?
Well, whenever they realize you're aware of them and you don't like what's happening, then they have to stop, because you're not supposed to be aware when things are going on. But see, they're always checking the body. Doesn't it make sense that they are checking their own people that they know are here? And no one has ever been abducted against their will. Everyone who had been abducted have agreed to this before coming into the earth. So all they're doing is keeping check on you to make sure you're healthy and everything's going okay. But you weren't supposed to know it. If you become aware of it, then they have to stop.
Dolores, I haven't really asked you yet about how people should cope with life after death or death by itself. You doing any more work in that area?
Well, I have a book on it that I wrote, because I've written 15 books.
Yes, you have.
Oh, yeah. And the book, I had the last one just came out in July. But the book is called Between Death and Life. Right now, we're going into reprint on it again for I don't know how many times. It's been reprinted so many times. It tells you what happens when you die, what it's like to die, and where you go on the other side, all the other places it's possible to go to, what it's all about, and then how you make your plans, especially with other people, you have to come back and repay karma with. See, there is no God sitting on a throne up there making judgment and dishing out punishment. You review your life and you make your own decisions. And you're the one that judges yourself and decides this is what I must do. There's no harsher judge than you yourself. So don't put it off on someone else. You have made your own decisions. You're here for a reason. When you understand that, it'll make it easier. Because before you can go into the new world, you have to get rid of any karma that's still hanging on. But death is not to be feared. You have died hundreds and hundreds of times. They said it's just like getting up from one chair and sitting down in another chair. There's no pain. There's nothing involved. All the people, and I've taken thousands and thousands through the death experience, they're just more than happy to get out of that body. They want to go home.